Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday to all. And it is a happy Sunday, man. What a weekend. I'm loving this weekend. It's not that I placed an exorbitant amount of bets down, but I swept the NBA board on Friday, swept the board yesterday with just had I had Nets and Kings, money line and spread. But also I hit some college basketball bets yesterday, too. I'm just really enjoying the weekend right now. Speaking of college basketball, Purdue is tipping off as we speak, and I ran a poll. Seems like you guys are leaning towards Purdue. 43% leaning towards Purdue. I was leaning towards Purdue as well. I think Wisconsin is just so used to having the rebounding advantage that Purdue, so it's just a rare matchup where Wisconsin doesn't have the rebounding edge. I feel like it takes them out of their comfort zone. And someone mentioned in the comments the first time these two teams played, Purdue shot 4 of 17 from 3 and still won. So, yeah, I like Purdue there. Anyway, look, it's Sunday NBA, which means it kind of sucks. And not only is it Sunday NBA, it's Sunday NBA right with the All-Star break right around the corner. So this is just not the greatest time to place NBA bets. That being said, we're going to do the best we can. See what we got here. Magic at Pistons is first. Magic minus 6.5. The Detroit cover machines, they should be their names. They just do not stop covering the number, these Detroit Pistons. They don't win the game, but they cover the number. Prop Beaver, I know you said you had a few bets you like today. Is one of them in this game?
Yes, one of them is in this game. The first bet I'm going to be talking about today, Cade Cunningham over 6.5 assists. I think you could still get that at minus 120 on ESPN. I know a few books started shooting that lineup. I just feel like we're getting a great discount on Cade here because of Orlando's potency at limiting assists this season. I believe they're a top 10 defense in terms of assists allowed to point guards, but that is completely flipped on its head over the last 30 days, as a lot of trends do in the NBA. Last 30 days, this Orlando team's allowing the 4th most assists per game to point guards, and over the last 2 weeks, they're allowing the most assists per game to opposing point guards. And I believe that's because transitioning from Goga to Carter Jr. at the rim, that's been a pretty massive downgrade, and allowing for more assists. We've recently seen Mike Conley just have 9 and 10 against them, Trey Jones with 8, Doncic with 15, Spider with 13, Young with 12. I mean, these guys are absolutely killing their lines, and Cunningham at home is just simply a wagon. The guy's cashed his last 12 or 13 games with 24-plus minutes. He faced Orlando at Orlando earlier this season with Goga at center and still had 6 assists in that game. So I'm willing to bank on Cade getting just one more here at home, with them looking a lot more susceptible to assists. So,
Cade Cunningham over 6.5 assists is the move. Okay. Josh?
Yeah, I had a couple of things for this game too, but I really just dumbed it down to one, which was Bogey over 17.5 points in this one. It feels fishy probably for good reason, because he's bumped up against this number a couple times or gone over it in like all of his last 10. So there's been one game that he didn't get 17 points. All the rest were 17 plus. So we've got to get him 18 here. But really what I'm looking at is like the mid-range versus Orlando. Yeah, they've been worse at the rim for sure, but they're also just, right in that like floater mid-range game. They're going to be a lot more vulnerable. They've been really good against the 3, and that's been mostly it, honestly. As Prop Beaver was saying, it's been a little bit surprising, and they've been playing a little bit faster too, scoring more, but that kind of turns to at home. So either way, like I think Bogey with the shot attempts, the mid-range, that kind of thing, that would be where he's living and what he's able to do. I thought about Cade too, because Cade's taking even more mid-range than he is, but my thing is that the focus of the defense is usually going to be on Cade at that point. So that's why I like the smaller points prop for Bogey.
Okay. As far as this one, someone said Cade Cunningham is a game-time decision. He's listed as probable, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be good.
It's more than likely he plays. If he doesn't play, then I'll probably just go to Ivy's over an assist. So we'll be taking an assist over against the Magic today, regardless of who's playing the point.
Okay. As far as me, man, this is a straight pass for me. Gun to my head. My life depends on picking the correct side here. I guess I'd go here, Detroit plus 6.5. But to be honest, both these teams are bet on teams for me right now. I think the Orlando Magic are going to cover the number at a good rate heading down the stretch. They were injured for a while, and then everyone kind of jumped off the Magic ship. They're the best record against the spread in the NBA, and I think they're going to round back into form hitting at the rate that they were hitting earlier in the season at the second half of last season. And then Detroit, how could you I can't fade this team right now. They cover the number every goddamn game. So this is the way I would go, but this didn't even sniff. In fact, the thing I posted on the website didn't even include this game in there. I had nothing to say about it. Just a true coin flip at this number. Magic minus 6.5 got 48% of the votes. So community is slightly leaning towards Magic, but there's a lot of people out there taking Detroit. Yeah, Shipley's in the comments. You already know.
There he is. I love his love for Detroit.
It's sick. And then when I found out,
money line call?
Oh, he always bets the money line.
The money line call, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. And he doesn't even live in Michigan. That's when I was like, wait, what, bro? Do you have a disorder? I figured he was at least from Michigan, like where it's explainable.
That's the only way it's explainable.
No, he goes, no, I live in Baltimore. I loved Rasheed Wallace growing up. He was like, I think it was Rasheed Wallace.
Oh my.
There was a Pistons player that was his favorite player. That's why he's a Pistons fan.
That's incredible respect, honestly.
Yeah, good
like
for
the
you,
fandom
leadership.
has carried over into when they're the worst franchise in the league, and he still loves them because that one time Rasheed brought him a chip.
Yeah. I think it was Rasheed. He'll probably say it in the comments who it was, but there was like a player he liked or something. Anyway, Suns at Wizards, and I'm betting this one. I'll go first, actually. The poll's up. Cast your votes. I know taking the Wizards at home seems nuts, but I am doing it. Giving the Wizards plus 11.5. Now, first, okay. So for those of you who don't know how I do, I usually don't go live on Sunday. So a lot of you might not even know this. Sunday NBA, I like to take a lot of dogs because it pays out, especially in the early afternoon games. I always try to tell people, like, yo, be careful with these 3 p.m. NBA Sunday starts. Last week, I cashed Pistons money line over Oklahoma City. Everyone was calling me nuts. And I was like, guys, like, you don't understand. These Sunday afternoon games are fucking weird. They're weird. They're some teams just punt in these situations. They kind of remind me of the Wednesday afternoon MLB games where it's like, dude, just give me the Tigers money line at plus 210 and let's move on to the night. Like, it's just like take the dog or pass. That being said, I don't even think it's a complete terrible matchup for the Wizards. Now, look, you can immediately point to the Wizards' record against the spread at home. I think they're like 5-22 in their last 27. So if you're taking the Suns strictly because you've been fading the Wizards at home, don't stop that because it's been paying you. But unfortunately, I haven't been riding that trend. And as far as the matchup, look, the Wizards have actually done a decent job forcing turnovers. Suns, in the last 10 games, dead last in the NBA in turnover rate. Suns have struggled to protect the basketball. They're 27th on the season. That's a nice little matchup for the Wizards there. Also, Washington, solid defensive numbers against the mid-range shot. Beal, Booker, Durant, they all like to shoot that mid-range shot. Look, I'm not going to sit here and make a case that the Wizards are, this is going to be tough for the Suns. Obviously, the Suns are the much better team. But I also could see, and this one is a little razor thin, this angle, but couldn't you see maybe the Suns forcing the ball to Bradley Beal a little too much in his return to Washington? You know, like maybe like getting, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? Disregard that. Pretend I didn't say that. That was thin. That was too thin. But yeah, I'm taking the Wizards. And full disclosure, I put a few dollars on the money lineup at plus 480 or something. Just playing a little bit of Sunday NBA magic. Prop, Ever?
Beautiful psycho.
Yeah, that was something right there. Yeah, I don't really love anything in this game. I mean, Kuzma's out, which makes backing them a bit brutal. So is Bagley. Tyus Jones is also questionable for this one, as is Bilal Coulibaly. So this is going to not only be a bad Washington team at home, but a really thin Washington team at home. This is a lane. I don't love it. Just for show purposes, I would probably go right back to the Wizards team total under at 113.5. Now 13-2 to the under.
That hit for you the other night.
Yeah, and I in the first half, it was looking horrible. They had 60 points at half, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But they wound up being shut down by the Heat. Suns not nearly as potent, and their defense is slacking a bit on the road. I'm just going to rely on the trend where they're now 13-2 to the under against teams in the bottom 10 of pace, excluding Charlotte, who they faced in November, who were top 5 in pace at the time. Now they're without Kuzma. Poole is so inefficient, and if it's not going out there, it's going to be brutal. It's going to hurt the Wizards' offense more than it helps. Day games also tend to historically operate at a bit of a slower pace. So that would be my lean there. Definitely don't love this game. I would probably lean the Wizards if Tyus Jones goes. If he doesn't go,
he's playing. No, it's Kuzma that's out.
He's questionable.
Oh,
no,
Tyus Jones. To be honest, I'm just playing the Sunday magic here, so it's kind of like I kind of don't care. And also Kuzma, as far as the way he's playing right now, him being out doesn't move the needle for me. I like Kuzma too. I'm a Kuzma guy, but I bet the Wizards in that Clippers game. It was the first time I bet the Wizards in a while, so I haven't been watching them too closely. And I was watching that game, and I probably was here. How many times was I sitting here cursing at Kyle Kuzma? It's anyway, Josh.
I'm actually. So I'm playing that Tyus Jones I'm getting ahead of hoping that he's out. So my favorite bet in this game is Jay Poole to go over 3.5 assists. His points prop is at 21.5. So to me, that in part says that I guess it's more about Kuzma being out than Tyus Jones, because the assists are still only at 3.5. But I'm awesome with that, because I like there's going to be first of all, if Tyus Jones is out, that's 14 potential assists per game that are off the board. So where are those going? The Wizards still play a brand of ball where they assist a lot. They move the ball. They have the 10th best assist percentage, 9th most per game because of the pace too. But they move the ball. And even Kuzma had about 6 potential assists per game. You're talking about like a lot of stats available. The 21.5 points coming from him is a lot. Just so inefficient this season. He hasn't played a game without Kuz and Tyus Jones. Like, they've all played together whenever they've been in. So there hasn't been much to look at with them off the floor. And against Phoenix, they've been letting a lot of stuff in from point guards. The assists should be there too, though. You can get assists against them. They're in the bottom 10 in terms of limiting assists. That's over their last 10. So I'm just playing the number, getting ahead of Tyus Jones being out there, being a lot of assists. And the other thing I would say real quick is like, I'm trying to figure out how to play Denny Advia, but they just skyrocketed his props.
Is that how you say his name? I always say Avija.
It's Advija.
Oh, I always said Avija. I guess I've been saying it wrong.
And he's Israeli, so it's probably like Advija or something. But like,
right.
Yeah, something like that. But either way, yeah, he should be in line for all of the stuff that Kuz was doing. Like, he's gonna slide it right into there. He's already playing alongside Kuz. They kind of do a lot of the same stuff, to be honest. It's a big part of why this whole lineup just doesn't work in general. Is they have a center who doesn't rebound, and they have 2 forwards who are the same player, except for one. Actually, they're probably equivalent at threes at this point. So either way, I think Advia comes in with the 16.5 points is a lot, 7.5 boards. Maybe you like that as well. They are kind of vulnerable against power forwards. So those would be the 2 spots that I'd be looking at for this one with all the injuries for the Wiz.
All right, so Jordan Poole over 3.5 assists. While we were talking there, SportsCenter dropped his hammerlock in there. He's now 4-1. His hit last night. He's now 4-1, and his loss was by the hook. So this is Quinnipiac. He always plays against the spread. So let's get an updated number on that. SportsCenter, put the lines in there when you do that, so I don't have to look it up. Quinnipiac -7. Quinnipiac -7. That's his hammerlock going for 5-1. All right, so our pool in that one, the Wizards win it. So Wizards money line is going to get a chance to get into the community parlay. 50%, 29%. They win decisively.
Does this have a chance to be the greatest return on a community parlay of all time?
No, it doesn't.
We just had a monster one with Tulane in it.
Yeah, plus 140. Yeah.
No. But on the one day on Thursday, Tulane money line was in it. They were +8. It was like plus 2,800. Didn't hit.
Okay.
But it didn't hit.
Yeah,
but we had a big one. All right.
It must have been college basketball because I wasn't there for it.
I think it was Thursdays.
Yeah.
Over 237, under 237. All right, Pacers, Hornets, and maybe you guys have something. I'll put Pacers -9.5. I don't even have a lead. Don't tail me on this. Maybe these guys have something. I got nothing in this game. I mean, it would have to be down at like 6 for me to play the Pacers, and it would have to be about 15.5 for me to play the Hornets. Like, I'm nowhere close on either side. So yeah, this is a straight pass for me.
I'm in the same boat. Halliburton and Turner both questionable, but both did participate in shoot-around today, so both will likely be going here. Mathurin questionable. Simply put, I mean, this Hornets team just sucks. Any other day, you catch me on a Monday, you catch me on a Tuesday, you catch me on a Wednesday, I'm laying the points with the Pacers. On a freaky Sunday, I'm not doing that, so I'm just gonna chill.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what's up with the injuries to play a prop. To be honest, I wouldn't touch this side with your wallet, but like as far as who could benefit from somebody being out, like if Turner's out, then I'm just gonna go right to Pascal, who will just be living down there anyway, and could be a good bet even if Turner's in. But if Turner's out, that's to me that's a wonderful bet to be able to play who's ever the big man for this team. And Pascal's already playing more on the block than Miles Turner on both ends of the floor, to be honest. So that's he's probably the bet there for the points and rebounds at 21.5. But like I said, I want to see who's in, because if Turner's in and Benny Matz is in and Tyrese Halliburton is in for 20 minutes, I don't know where those stats are going to go. So I'm kind of off it unless I see someone in, or basically the Halliburton and Turner being out leads me to go right to Pascal.
Yeah, it's Halliburton.
I'm hoping that Halliburton could sit because
Pascal too. Yeah, that's true.
I'm craving to take a Siakam assist over without Halliburton. I just need the man to sit.
So in the comments, I didn't realize that SportsCenter lost yesterday. I thought I saw someone commented that he won. So I guess it was 4. I didn't know. So I guess he gave out Richmond and it lost yesterday. Wasn't even aware of that.
Jesus.
And the injuries they're talking about in this game, by the way, Halliburton, Mathurin, Miles Turner, and Jalen Smith, all questionable. Yeah. As you can see, I want no parts of this. So this is a hard pass for me. I guess I'd lean Pacers. 64%, 18% Pacers. But I would imagine if I gave the community a pass option there that they would have hammered it. Next. Clips at Miami. Clips on the road at Miami. This number is at 4. Was at 3.5 last night. It's now up to 4. Heat plus 4. Over 224. Under 224. Either you guys want to go first here. Josh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm tailing Prop Beaver, so let him go first.
There you go.
I'm taking Kawhi Leonard under 27.5 points here. I think it's down 26.5. Still fine with 26.5. Has only gone under 27.5 and not gone under 26.5 once a season. It's just basically like a system at this point. If you look at the Heat's defense over the last month, you're probably like, dude, why are you taking under? This defense sucks. And it's kind of true. I mean, their defensive rating over the past month is bottom 10 in the league. They've been pretty terrible, but what have they been good at? Actually, what have they been excellent at? Limiting number one options. The last 7 games against Miami, we've seen Kuzma with 13 points, Fox with 13 points, Booker with 22 points, Jaren Jackson Jr. with 15, Banchero with 20. All these guys went under their totals. And while Kawhi is flying high, he just beat up on the Pistons and the Wizards. This might be the perfect sell high spot with Paul George slated to be in the lineup today. Haywood Highsmith's likely going to be pinned on the guy, and that leaves his teammates in much more advantageous matchups offensively. And then also what they've really been doing is they've been limiting the volume from these star players. And with 20 or less field goal attempts this season, Kawhi's 28-8 to the under, averaging just 22 points per game. The Heat have specifically been disgustingly good at defending power forwards the last 30 days, allowing the fewest points per game and lowest field goal percentage. Notably, that field goal percentage is 40% for a power forward. It's hard to put into words how low that is. I just think that 28 points is a lot, and with 2 teams operating in the bottom 6 at pace here on a Sunday, which, by the way, I know I don't really take much stock in these, but 5-0 to the under on Sundays this year. It's been a lazy Sundays for Kawhi. I'm going to take the under here.
So to take it a step further, I'm on the Heat. I played Heat plus 4 and money line. I think the Heat take this one. I think the Heat has finally turned the corner that I think we all knew they were going to turn eventually. When they lost 7 in a row, like I don't think there anybody who was like, Heat. Miami's one of the worst teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, if someone was saying that they're just being a hater or something. Like, we knew eventually they would figure their shit out. Looks like they have. They've won 2 in a row now, and they're in a position where they need to gain some ground back. Meanwhile, I don't like the spot for the Clippers. I mean, it's a Sunday game. They immediately fly out to play the Hawks tomorrow night. Not that the Hawks are a particularly important game for the Clips, but it's the first leg of a back-to-back non-conference game. It kind of reminds me of, I was just looking at it while Prop Beaver was talking. Kind of reminds me of that spot where they were in Minnesota. The T-Wolves beat them. It was just a weird spot on the schedule. And the Clippers, I've been waiting to sell high a little bit on the Clippers. And I haven't been fading them. I faded them once. But I've been waiting for a spot to sell high on them, and I think this is the perfect spot. I think Miami wins. The Clippers in the last 10 games, I closed it up. I just had it open. I think they're 27th or 28th in strength of schedule. They had a couple tough games in there, but there's a lot of cake. The Pistons, the Wizards, the Grizzlies, they played. The Clippers have had a lot of fortunate games recently where I think this is a nice little sell high spot for them. They're laying 4 points on the road. So like this is their value is at an all-time high right now, and I think the Clippers are really good. I just think this is a nice spot to fade them. So I'm taking the Heat. Kyle, please explain this Sunday shit y'all keep talking about. Underdogs win a lot, and it doesn't make sense a lot on Sunday. You just look at the last.
It does. It's like a weekend thing, man. Like, it's human nature. It's like these dudes don't get a weekend. Exactly. I know they don't live normal lives, but like when there's an opportunity to just like coast and just give somebody time, or your head is somewhere else. Or by the way, last night was Saturday, right? You're in Miami. James Harden in Miami. Should we just go like what? Like strip clubs, you know what I mean? Like it's all going down. So it's a weird thing on weekends.
Right. And in Miami is a team that can't afford to just chill right now. They need to gain some ground back from those 7 losses. Someone said the Miami Heat are 0-7 as road home dogs. So as road home dogs.
Is that straight up? Or is that
we need to know if that's against the spread or straight up.
4 points is a good amount. Come on.
I'm assuming they meant as home dogs.
No, it's road home dogs. So the poll is 50%, 35% Clips. So community definitely leaning towards the Clippers here. Next.
Yeah, I'm fading James Harden, by the way. That strip club narrative is real, so.
It is real. He was at 11 last night late. I can tell you that.
All right, here's a good one. Grizzlies, Celtics. The number is 18.
Wow.
Yo.
Dude, this injury report's just insane at this point. No Jaren Jackson Jr. either. Jesus Christ.
Bro, this is like it feels like a college game. Like Kentucky at home versus Vanderbilt. Like 18 points in an NBA game. That's great. I mean, I'll put something up under my face, but I'm not betting. Memphis was 18 or pass. There's injury question marks. I don't even know who's playing. Memphis was 18 or pass. Celtics actually haven't been covering the number at home much at all. But, like, I'm not even going to try to give a description because I don't care. Not betting it. Either you guys?
Same story as you. Just take the Grizzlies until they stop being cover machines. Celtics, I feel like a lot of times they kind of just like BS their way through some of these big point spread games. I mean, they just lost to the Lakers at home with no Bron and AD. I mean, how much more talented is that roster than the bums that the Grizzlies are rolling out there right now? I mean, it's not a good roster either. Now we're getting 18 points on a Sunday. I mean, with a low total, why not?
Somebody's got to score, so let's just. I didn't put this out, but with the every single person and their mom not playing today for the Grizzlies, it's gonna be like I'll take a GG Jackson prop if it comes out, but for now it's Vince Will. I didn't give you guys this earlier.
He might not even play either.
Oh, Vince Will's also on the report now.
Yeah,
as is John Concar.
If they're late, if they're late ads, then yeah, clearly.
Dude, nobody is playing. It is crazy. Yeah. Jaylen Brown might not even play.
Stars out, bets up, man. I'll ride with you guys on the Grizz.
Well, I'm not betting it. Don't. You're not riding with me. I just put the graph because if I don't put something up, people will ask like, "Well, what would you do?"
Right.
So I always put something up.
That's what I mean. I'm whatever we're calling this. Then I would lean Grizz because I just wouldn't lay points in the game. That why would you try on a Sunday? I mean, they can sleepwalk their way to a 15-point win, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yep. Agreed.
Every dude that plays for the Grizzlies is like living his dream tonight. Like 8 out of the 10 dudes that you'll see on the floor are dudes who are like, oh my God, I'm on an NBA court.
I'm playing the Celtics.
You're going to go bananas.
I'm playing the Celtics in the Boston Garden. We need to look up the Grizzlies record as road home dogs though, before we actually place this.
That's just a neutral night.
That's important.
50%, 33% Grizzlies. Grizzlies win the poll. I'm not putting that as an option. We're not doing Grizzlies money line. No, we're not doing that. Houston at Minnesota. Line's at 7, I believe. 7.5, maybe, depending on your sports book. Over 221.5. Under 221.5. You guys have something here? This is another passer, man. I feel bad passing on so many, but I don't like NBA Sunday that much. I take a few shots with a dog. That's usually what I do. Either you guys have something?
Yeah, I got to play. I just need to know if Rudy Gobert is going or not. They did the shoot around. Okay, I would hope so. They did the shoot around notification with Tyrese Halliburton and Turner. I'm hoping to get one of those for Gobert soon. It's pretty weird how they only do that for certain players and like certain games. It's very. I wish they would do that for every player. Anyways, Sengun over 29.5 points plus a rebound. Shengun. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna say Sengun. Let me preface by saying Gobert needs to go here. Obviously, I do not want Naz Reid trying to stop Sengun from scoring at the basket. T-Wolves have been a nightmare for opposing centers all season, and over the last month, it's been extra brutal. I mean, during the span, they're down the fourth fewest points per game, fourth lowest field goal percentage, and second fewest rebounds per game to centers. And this is a matchup that Sengun has struggled mightily against in his last 3 bouts against Gobert. In those games, he averaged 19.3 points per game, which is pretty solid, but on the glass, he averaged just 6.7 rebounds per game, 26 points plus rebounds, and just 15 field goal attempts on 54% shooting. He didn't shoot more than 17 times once in those games, which is notable to me because with 17 or less field goal attempts this season, he's 21-9 to the under, averaging 27.4, and 9-2 to the under on the road, averaging 26.6. On top of that, if we look at when his field goal percentage is less than 60% on one-day rest, 12-4 to the under this season, averaging 26.3. The only thing that concerns me here is that the T-Wolves are a bit susceptible in the paint where Sengun typically lives, but with Sengun being the main defensive priority here, I don't think that's an issue.
It's under, correct?
Under.
Okay, someone in the comments were saying you said over. I thought you said under, but I was just making the graphics correct. Well. It's under. I thought he said under, but in case he said over, it is under. And what he's explaining points to an under as well.
Yeah, I mean, the issue, as I said, susceptible in the paint, the T-Wolves, but as the main priority defensively, I just don't think Gobert's going to let him get to his spots. I mean, this is a game where you pay Gobert to be the one to shut down the opposing big. I think he does so today, even on a Sunday.
Anything for this one, Josh?
I'm kind of leaning T-Wolves, to be honest with you, with the points. I would take those with the Rockets on the road. I think Gobert plays. He was questionable on Friday night against the Magic. He went 39 minutes. He's probably just as important, maybe more important tonight because Sengun is clearly. I'm going Sengun, by the way, but teachers and we'll ask him later. I would go with that bet. I'll tell you on that one as well. I like both those calls for the unders that you have on the guys you have them, bad matchups, etc. Like you were saying, I don't need to add much to the Sengun bet, but I do strongly feel Rudy Gobert is going to go, and I will use my time real quick to also get on a soapbox and be like, it's very simple. You have to have your injury report in by 1 p.m. local time, period. How much are you going to change what happens from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 6 p.m., right? Like this whole, you don't have to do it. Tell us who's actually going to play until 6 p.m. or whatever local time is crazy. Just make that the deal. And then we don't have to wonder about this crap anymore.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, for the first 3 months of the season, they were doing a much better job. So I want to give them credit. It was a lot better. It's just the last couple weeks, it's starting to look like last year again.
Dude. It's been brutal. It's making me clamor for baseball. That's how brutal it's been. I'm so sick of the guessing game every day.
Well, after the All-Star break, the NBA gets better. The product is better. Defense ramps up. So let's anticipate that. I would actually lean the other way, Rockets plus 7.5, but I don't really like betting Houston on the road. But I think Minnesota at home might be a fade for me because I think a lot of people look at Minnesota's record at home. They're like, this team's elite at home. When really, they haven't been covering the number at a great rate at home recently. They racked up a bunch of wins early, which I still think is influencing number a little bit. But like I said, not betting this game. That's the way I lean. We got 49%, 35% Wolves. So Minnesota wins the poll. Community leaning towards Minnesota. 3 games remaining. Toronto at Oklahoma City. Either you guys want to go
down?
No, I got nothing for this one. I was leaning going back to Josh Giddey, but he really screwed me the other day. And on top of that, the line just feels inflated for Giddey here without Jalen Williams. I would go with Josh Giddey here if he could shoot better than 30% without Jalen Williams on the court. But it's now been 6 games where he shot 30% or worse without Jalen Williams on the floor. And I'm just not ready to be upset by that again. I don't know. Probably just a pass here. Don't love this game.
I'm on the Raps. I think the Raps have a good shot at winning. I took the money line as well. Played a little bit of that Sunday Magic. I split my money, put half on plus 8.5, half on the money line. So as we know, Oklahoma City hasn't been nearly as dominant recently. 1-3 against the spread in their last 4. Super small sample size. Don't overreact. Oklahoma City's fine. I'm just saying, as of late, they haven't looked quite as dominant. Their only win in their last 4 games, by the way, was the last one, and it was at home against a Hornets team that was missing, I believe, their entire starting 5. So I think Jakob Poeltl being back is a bigger impact than maybe the naked eye would perceive. The only glaring mismatch here, now obviously Oklahoma City's the better team, but the only glaring mismatch is Oklahoma City likes to attack the basket, and Toronto's been getting cooked down there. Maybe Jakob Poeltl being back helps sew that up a bit. But after that, Toronto's been a bad rebounding team recently, but Oklahoma City, that is the weak spot. They don't rebound for shit. And with Poeltl back, I think Toronto might have a significant rebounding edge in this game, something they haven't had in months. I mean, without Poeltl, this team was really struggling to rebound. Now that he's back and they're playing a terrible rebounding team in the Thunder, I think Toronto's going to control the glass on both sides of the ball. And then I'm just hoping that Jakob Poeltl, or they could do something to stop Oklahoma City from getting to the rim, because they're very good at that, and Toronto has struggled with it. So, but at 8.5 points on a Sunday against an Oklahoma City team that I think the way they're playing right now has them a little overvalued. I'm sure fast forward 2 weeks, they'll be back on track, back looking like one of the strongest teams in the NBA. But as far as the last 2 weeks goes, they haven't looked like that. So I think I'm getting great value here on a Raptors team that they're pesky. I'm really hoping RJ Barrett plays, though, by the way. He's listed as questionable. But Oklahoma City is not healthy either. As Josh said, Jalen Williams is still out, Isaiah Joe is still out, and Trey Mann might not even play. So, yeah, I like the bet here. I'm on Toronto, and I like my position. Josh?
Yep. I said that last night too. They opened at 12.5, and sharps are on the same side as you. So yeah, it got bet down to 8.5. Still good value. I agree. I put out a video last night that said a lot of everything that you just said. The key thing for me was there's 3 shooting guards out for the Thunder in between, because Jalen Williams plays shooting guard on offense. Like, he's listed as power forward because he can guard your power forward, but he's 6'5" and he shoots well, and he takes the sort of one-on-one isolation shots that a shooting guard takes from outside on the wing. So that's his position. People listing Josh Giddey as a shooting guard is like, have you seen Josh Giddey shoot? What part of his game is a shooting guard? So that's why it's like, okay, I would have gone right to Isaiah Joe. Okay, Isaiah Joe's out. Oh, let's go right to Trey Mann. Oh, great, Trey Mann might not play. So that's my thing with them is like, I'm with you on Toronto. You can put 8.5 there for me. I would have put any good shooter that's, Lou Dort's taking 7 shots a game in the last 2 games without Jalen. Why is Josh Giddey the one where that ends up? Those 3-point shots end up. That makes no sense. But Lou Dort would be the play. He has no volume, so I can't play him. And there's nobody to like I said, the best play here for me as a prop goes would have been the shooting guard. I'm playing Poeltl as well. My bad, I forgot I gave you that. 15.5 points and rebounds for him over on that because of the same stuff you're saying. He just came back from injury, Kyle. So he played a few minutes the other night, but if he's back, right, he should be playing at least 20 tonight. Which should be good for him to get this in, like you said, such a weak matchup for centers when they go up against that Thunder team. So yeah, the rebound should be there for him. That's what I love combining it with the points because they're both at 6.5 or so. One of it was 6.5 for the points or 7.5. So it's a good number at 15.5 for him. And I agree with the Raptors having a good matchup down low there for themselves.
Yeah, and my thinking was, yeah, okay, so if you use the numbers from the last 2 or 3 weeks and Poeltl's been out, okay, there's a glaring mismatch here. But if we take the Raptors numbers from 4 weeks ago when Poeltl was playing, actually doesn't look that bad. An 8.5 looks good. That being said, a lot of that data still had Siakam on the court. The Raptors team, it's really it's really tough to try to zero in on data points for this team because the rosters had such turnover. But yeah, I think the Raptors are a live dog here, so I'm on Toronto.
Yeah.
Our poll is all over Oklahoma City. 65%, 21% Thunder.
One other thing I want to add to the game, so we make sure we know. I can say like, hey, we know this, which is the Raptors since the trade are a completely different team on the road than at home too.
Yeah,
and it's only been like a handful, but on the road it's like 119 points a game they're scoring, 109 that they're scoring at home, and then they give up 126 on the road versus at home where they're giving up like I think 112 or whatever it is. So faster pace, all that stuff could be in play. Hopefully that helps if RJ's in there, can help with that.
Yeah, I hope RJ plays.
Yeah.
Next up, Milwaukee at Utah. Prop Beaver. Curious to see. I know where you got to go, Prop Beaver. Prop Beaver, if for those of you who don't know, Prop Beaver is an avid film guy. He goes to the movies all the time, and he's got movie
I do
tickets.
love movies.
Every single time you see a preview come up on TV and it's like, that movie looks like shit, just know that Prop Beaver is buying tickets.
No, that's Andy, bro. Andy's favorite film is Gran Turismo. Andy's favorite film is Gran Turismo.
And you thought Oppenheimer was good, bro. You thought that was
it's the most critically acclaimed film of the year, but all right, sure. Yeah.
They could have left 45 minutes on the cutting room floor, but it was a good movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
The movie sucked. The movie absolutely sucked. All right. Prop Beaver.
Right.
Bucks on the road in Utah.
Yeah, for this one, I'm just leaning an assist over. I don't really know who I'm going with yet.
Ooh, exciting. You're leaning an assist over. That's
yeah,
electric.
I mean, I need some injury clarity here. I don't know what's good with Chris Middleton. They have him listed as a game time decision on RotoWire, but everywhere I look, he's not a game time decision. This Utah defense is horrendous lately. And honestly, their last game against the Sixers at home, they still look like shit. So they don't really look good right now. The defenses look really, really bad. I'm just not really loving what I'm seeing from Utah right now. But the Bucks on the road against the spread are they're horrible too. So I lean Utah, but nothing really exciting here. I would love to know if Middleton's playing or not.
I'm putting Utah under your face here.
Yeah, because that's what I said.
Okay, well, you said it. All right, whatever. You're leaning Utah.
Die.
So, me too. This is my smallest bet of the day. Is the Jazz. I like the Heat, the Raptors, and the Wizards better. This would be my smallest bet. I had Jazz the other night against the Sixers and watched the entire game. And look, Utah should have won that. That's sports betting, though. It's not like, oh, I got screwed. It's not like that. Sometimes one team's shots are falling, one team aren't. But the way that game went was Utah. Keontae George comes off a screen, draws a second defender, swings it out to the corner for a wide open look from Fontecchio, who misses. And then the Sixers bring it down 20 seconds. They can't get anything going offensively. Maxey sprints to the baseline, throws up a circus shot, and it goes in. It was just continuously like, how are the Jazz losing this game right now? So I think the fact that they lost that game might be a little bit of a buy low spot for them. But really, I mean, how can we take the Bucks on the road right now? They beat Dallas last night, right? Before that, they were 0-8 against the spread in their last 8 on the road. Or it might be 7. I think it's 8, though. I actually think it's 8. They had not failed to cover the number in 8 straight games on the road entering last night. And it was last night. They just flew from Dallas to Salt Lake City last night after the game on a back-to-back on a Sunday before the All-Star break. I mean, this game's a disgusting spot for Milwaukee. That being said, I'm not really crazy about what I've seen from the Jazz defense recently. Prop Beaver will be the first one to tell you he has gone on rants about how bad the Jazz defense has been recently, so he's pretty pissed off about the Jazz defense as well. I'm on the Jazz. Don't absolutely love it.
I'm with you. I'm on the Jazz too, and I'm on the over. Maybe even more than the Jazz. I still have a unit on both of them, but I'm probably going to go back to the over because everything you guys said, yes. The loss to Philly was in part because they just got back home after 3 games in 4 nights. They were playing on a road trip, and they came back, and now they're back at home. And so they still scored more than 121.5 points in that game, which was their team total. They just, they couldn't get a stop in the first half. They gave up 71 points in the first half to Maxey and company, mostly Maxey, who ended up with the 50-piece, second 50-piece of the season for Maxey. So now they're in a situation, though, where back at home rested. They're playing their second game in 5 nights now after a bunch of nights of rest in their own bed. They've been home since Wednesday. Yeah, not only did the Bucks fly from Dallas last night, which is not that close to Salt Lake. That's like a 3-hour flight.
Yeah, Dallas is on the east side of Texas, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, southish, east, centralish. But either way, the thing with that flight, obviously, just enhances that home court advantage for the Jazz, who have the best cover percentage at home, 16-6 when they're playing at home. They go 14-8 to the over. The thing that was interesting to me about the over that I love so much is the Bucks go over on these back-to-backs. Now, they played 7 back-to-backs, has Milwaukee. They've played 2 of them on the road. 5 of them have been at home. They've won 6 of these 7 games, covered in 4 of them. And really, like, it's kind of weird, but it's mostly when they're at home. They're playing these back-to-backs at home. It's not that big of a deal. Flying to a new hotel to go check in, that's not the same as just leaving the stadium and driving 30 minutes, 40 minutes to your house, right? Like, so this is a big deal versus the way they've been playing. The one loss was to Indy on the road on that back-to-back in these scenarios. So, but they go over. They're averaging 253 totals in the games that they play in these 7 games since, that they played on no rest. So I love all of that. And then for player props, the thing is, I don't have Jordan Clarkson player props, and I'm hoping that because he shot poorly last game, and I got him at 16 and a half.
That dude Springer on the Sixers, he clamped Clarkson.
Dude, I had never seen Jaden Springer have to guard somebody that good.
I was he was locking him up.
Dude, Ryan Props, this dude from Go Boys, made a hilarious joke where he was like, yo, the way, LeBron for Springer, maybe, in a stupid trade. And I was like, I don't know, man. Did you see the way Springer locked up Jordan Clarkson?
Took him out of the game. I was sitting there holding a Jazz -4 ticket, my biggest bet of the day, and I was like, yo, this dude is like playoff Kawhi Leonard right now on defense.
That was nuts. Now, they let him man and mug and just crazy hands all over him.
Yeah.
It was really weird that Jordan Clarkson wasn't getting calls at home against Jaden Springer. But yeah, that was wild. Either way, the thing about Jordan Clarkson will be he's going to be able to score exactly where you're most vulnerable for the Bucks drop defense, right? So it's everything that's a field goal inside the paint, but not inside the restricted area. So right in that floater range of 5 to 9 feet, all of that stuff's available against the Bucks. And the mid-range, they give up the most mid-range points and shots and everything in the league because of that drop defense. That's what they do. That's where it's open now. It's 12 to 17 feet all over the floor. Jordan Clarkson shoots 6 mid-range a game. He shoots 5 floaters a game. So he would be a great bet here. If not, Colin Sexton's still a really good bet as well. If Jordan Clarkson's not, if we don't get props for him, because he's going to be going to the lane and shooting those floaters as well. So.
Yeah, I'm actually a little more confident on the Jazz. Both these guys lean in the same way as me, makes me a little more confident. And now apparently, actually, you know what? Before I say this, let me double check it, because some people have in the comments just say crazy shit. Someone's saying the line is now 3.5. Which was, yeah, okay, 3's open. I still see 2.5 though. So 2.5, 3, 2.5, 2.5, 3. So yeah, the consensus line is now 3. So I'm mostly seeing 3. So the person in the comments was telling the truth. The line is moving towards Utah. Bob is asking Prop Beaver his thoughts on Brook Lopez over 2.5 3-pointers made. He might not play, Brook Lopez. He's listed as questionable.
Yeah, he might not play. I didn't really get to look at this matchup much in terms of the props because I'm still waiting to see who plays on the Milwaukee side. But just from what I can gather, I mean, I don't know if I love it that much, because now he was hot. Now you took a bit of time off that could cool him off, and then on top of that, Utah plays small, so they have John Collins playing the 5. He's more likely to go out and defend him on the 3 rather than like a Jokic who stays posted to the block. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably stay off here, but not gonna sway you off your bet if you really like it.
My thoughts real quick to that is Walker Kessler might be a good bet, because I was John Collins recently. Yeah, so I was on John Collins recently for the same stuff with rebounds, because I realized since he came back from injury, he's playing the small ball 5 with Markkanen in, right? And that's all of their minutes are going to those guys. But now it's you're playing the Bucks. Walker Kessler is used in these games for that reason of there's 4 centers on the Bucks, right? So that would be why I might lean Walker Kessler to actually get the minutes finally that you would think he would normally get. But I don't know if Brook Lopez doesn't play. Does that mean maybe Walker Kessler isn't needed as much? You know what I mean? I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the final game, which is Blazers on the road in Denver again. If you're wondering if this looks familiar, yeah, they just played. Was that Friday night? I think they played on Friday night. It was Friday night, because I gave out Denver minus 11.5 on the YouTube show the night before, and then I gave out Denver minus 12.5 on the live show. And they split. Those bets landed on 12 exactly. So depending on when you bet it, you might have got the win there. This one, I have no interest in this game. I'm going to put up Blazers plus 14 because I'll just play the Denver
Sunday
one.
fun day.
Yeah, Sunday fun day. I'm also playing the it's not really a home and home. What we were trying to figure out what's this called? A doubleheader, I guess.
Oh right, yeah.
Usually when these teams have these back-to-back, they're not back-to-backs though. It's when they have repeated games against the same team at the same place, especially. The second game tends to go like the opposite way of the first game. Like if it's an under, I play the over. And in the first game, yeah, Denver may have covered if you got it 11.5, or Portland may have covered, I should say, if you got it at 12.5. But Denver controlled that game start to finish. So on a Sunday, getting 14, I can see Portland making it interesting and Denver coming out a little flat. But I didn't bet this game, so I'm not going to waste any more of your time talking about it.
Yeah, this disgusts me. It grosses me out, but I'm doing it. I'm going back to dominate.
Yup.
You let me down in a major way.
Yeah, but he was cashing for you before. You can't bail on him after one.
Precisely. I just feel like this line's an absurd overreaction to how bad he was against Jokic the other night. In that game, he got out-rebounded 22-3 by Jokic. 22-3. He scored 8 points on just field goal attempts against him. And he essentially got benched because of the lack of rebounding. I mean, he only played 26 minutes. His previous about 5 games or so, he was playing about 34 to like 40 minutes. So he got benched. And the main concern with betting DeAndre Ayton always and forever will be, is he motivated? I think it's hard to not get motivated after just getting emasculated by Nikola Jokic on national TV. Every reason we bet on him the last game still applies here. I mean, this is still a Denver team. It's third most points per game to centers last 30 days. The 25th in defensive mid-range frequency the last 30 days, and that's where Ayton lives. He's cashed his last 5 or 6 trips to Denver, including the postseason, averaging 15, and has cashed his last 9 to 10 regular season matchups against him, averaging 21. So what was the outlier? He went under last game. I feel like part of this discount's coming because Jeremy Grant may be returning, but he draws a brutal matchup against Aaron Gordon, and he's cashed his last 7 to 9 games with Brogdon, Grant, and Simons all on the court, averaging 16 points per game, 33 minutes, and 13 field goal attempts with 28-plus minutes and 1 day rest this season, 12-2 with 9-plus field goal attempts. And really, what I just saw is that Brogdon got announced questionable with the knee thing. So if he's out, that opens up even more volume. I just think it's about him being aggressive this time around, and I think he'll come through for us. Am I a bit scared about the blowout potential? Absolutely. But we're getting this at minus 106 at 12.5 on FanDuel. I have to take it. If he screws me again, he screws me again. He'll be on the ban list for a bit. But I'm going to go back to dominating here. Please, for the love of God, show some life.
Yeah, someone said, because I guess they're behind and they're watching the part where I said, for those of you who don't know, Prop Beaver is a movie enthusiast. And the guy goes, he loves porn. That doesn't count as movies.
Listen.
All right, Josh, anything for this one? I mean, this game isn't for 10 hours.
Don't even make me. I won't even ramble in your ear about it.
Yeah. So our poll is 47%, 37% Portland. More people lean in Portland plus 14 than Denver minus 19. All right. Let's do the community parlay.
I'm out of here for the parlay.
Oh yeah,
time.
Movie time. Enjoy your
movie?
Yeah, what are you seeing?
That will be disclosed.
What are you talking about? Say it.
No, I'm seeing Argyle. It looks stupid, but I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Little Sunday flick.
It's about a cat detective or something.
It's not.
Wait,
no, don't phrase it like that.
Is that what it's about? I'm googling it right now. I'm googling it.
No.
Argyle?
It's like an espionage movie of sorts. It's by the same people who made the Kingsman and the Kick-Ass franchise. So, seems like a interesting watch.
I like Bryce Dallas Howard.
I don't, but I like Dua Lipa.
You clearly never seen Jurassic World.
Ooh, that movie.
She's ass in those movies.
What?
She's ass in the sequels, bro.
In the sequel, she cares about the dinosaurs. She becomes an activist.
I'm not gonna talk about Jurassic World. All right, have a good day, guys.
Later,
Enjoy the community parlay. Hopefully it cashes. See ya
later. All right, Pacers money line, Clippers money line. All right, first leg of the community parlay. Bryce Dallas Howard, ass in the sequels. That's crazy. She was great.
Yeah, Jurassic World is awesome.
Yeah, I love all three.
Yeah.
I like the original Jurassic Parks too, though.
Yeah.
Someone is begging, please, no Magic money line in the community parlay, as the Orlando Magic are winning the poll.
I love that conviction, though.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like it's going to be Magic. So, Magic money line has made it. Here's yesterday's. Who blew this? Oh, that's not yesterday's. That's from Friday. And I forget who blew. Oh, no, this hit. This is the one that hit on Friday.
Oh, hell yeah. That was, what was it, like plus
140. We were going nuts. Plus 140 with a 4-leg parlay.
Amazing.
And then it hits.
That's amazing.
All right. Next up, we got. I'm not putting Grizzlies Celtics in. That's just. It's at 19.5 now. Just no way. So, Timberwolves money line. Raptors Thunder. Oh, they voted for Thunder, which is at 9 now. Bucks Jazz. They voted for Jazz. And Blazers Nuggets. They voted for Blazers. All right, cast your votes. So we got the Magic money line in there. Pacers money line was second. Clippers third. So I might have to do one more poll, and I'll include Pacers and Clippers. There's just not enough games to do. Did I skip 2 games? I skipped this one. Oh, I forgot to put Wizards Suns, and Wizards won that poll. All right, so I got to. Oh no, Wizards was in that poll. I put Wizards in there. What game did I skip? Clippers, Grizzlies. Am I bugging? Oh, no. Duh. I'm sorry. It's early. No, I figured it out. I didn't skip any games. All right, so looks like I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunder. So Magic money line, Thunder money line.
Okay.
So we got Jazz, T-Wolves, Pacers, Clippers. That was the 4 that got votes. So Jazz money line, T-Wolves money line, Pacers money line, Clippers money line. All right. First and second place make it. Do you have a sports book open by any chance, Josh?
I can.
Yeah, just get those odds ready.
Yep.
So, okay, wow. Jazz money line looks like it's definitely going to make it. A lot of people voting for Utah. The question is, who's going to come in second?
Magic money line and the Thunder money line.
And it's definitely going to be Jazz. You can put that one in there. But this is a battle for second place here. I'll give it another few seconds.
Yeah, this is minus 155 is nice. Nice little addition.
With Jazz, yeah.
Yeah.
So T-Wolves and Pacers are tied for second. So I'm going to give it another 7 Mississippi.
T-Wolves and Pacers. T-Wolves minus 285. Pacers minus 520.
Yeah, neither are helping it much.
Yeah. Timbies would help a little bit.
I think it keeps going back and forth. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poll. And the winner is Pacers.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the Pacers also have a significantly better chance to win. So I actually like the leg
That's
better.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I could see
They're gonna wipe the floor.
I could see the Rockets beating Minnesota. Like I almost pulled the trigger on Rockets plus 7, but
Yeah. It would be a surprise thing for them to do, but I'm starting to just think they're sliding, to be honest, in general.
yeah, exactly.
I think they're on their way down for the season.
Did you yell at the odds? I didn't even hear it.
I've got plus 241 for the 4 picks right now.
Plus 241.
Oh, we're doing 4 picks, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we always do. 4.
Right.
You know
Yep,
what? We
241.
could consider doing that on days where a lot of chalk gets big, is adding a 5th. No, you know what? It's always been 4 legs. We're keeping it.
Yeah, leave it. Don't start to overthink this now. On my
Yeah,
account.
it's been working like this for a while. People have fun.
Yep.
Community parlay: Magic money line, Thunder money line, Jazz money line, Pacers money line plus 241. Chalky as hell. But you know what?
Chalk
The
it up,
last
baby.
2 extremely chalky community parlays we had, they both cast. So maybe we're going for 3 in a row here, even though it's Sunday, a day where chalk goes to die.
It's so true. It's so true, man. Weekends in general, man.
Yep. So Josh, thanks for joining.
Sorry.
Everyone, thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Same as always, 4 p.m. Eastern time for Monday stuff. Let's have a great Sunday. I got to check a Purdue score too. What is the score of that game real quick before we close? Because there was some people arguing about that. Purdue was up 2.5. So I'm going to go watch the second half of that game. Enjoy your Sunday.
yeah.
Remember to bet responsibly.